Steiny, he says can't scheme players open with a quarterback that improvises.
That might be true.
Man.
Yeah, that might be true.
Because there's a trust element. But we saw Josh Allen carve the Niners up on Monday Night Football, 2020 season or 2021 in Arizona. And what did we come away from saying that? You, Dibbs, and I, or Bonte, what did we say? Oh, that's Kyle's type of quarterback. But look at Allen now, Steiny. Is he improving? I don't know.
I'll take him. You don't want him?
No, he's just turning into a crash dummy.
You want Josh Allen or Brock Purdy?
Oh, come on.
Well, you're talking about Josh Allen.
No, I want Josh Allen.
Less flatteringly than you're talking about
No,
Brock
I'm just
Purdy.
saying, hey, son, we're watching.
What do you mean?
What we need to see some gains from Buffalo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
hey, somebody tell Josh Allen in Buffalo that there's a guy on the radio out here who needs to be
oh, boy.
You got to prove it to. Jay Voltron in Oakland. What's going on, Jay? How you doing?
Sounds like a singer name.
Hey, Matt. Hey, good to have you back, bro. I totally agree with you, Matt, that, with Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan right now, it's still new. The relationship is good and all, but to me, it's going to be like kind of the story. It's going to be like Jimmy G. Like down the road, they're going to draft another quarterback. I don't know when, but yeah, like right now it's all good, but who knows in the future? It's going to be like Jimmy G, the way they play out.
Go ahead, Goo.
Yeah, no, thanks for the call, but it's like, Steiny, if I'm a fan and I'm in my car, it's about, and I mean this, it's about Brock Purdy and the Brock Purdy mania that was made last year from everybody involved with the San Francisco 49ers. So we're 4 days away from game one. If I were to invite you over to my house, now I've been divorced 4 times, and I'm with my new spouse, and we're having dinner, and we're drinking, and everything's good, and you say, I don't know if you guys are going to last it for 2 years, you might have a point, but saying it then would be the wrong time to say it.
So when do you say it?
Maybe
3 years later?
Or maybe you just hold on to it, because what do you accomplish by saying, I'm going to put an X date on the euphoria that you guys are experiencing now? And that's why I'm just trying to apply that thought to the Niners.
Hey, listen, if
you might be right in 3 years.
Fine. If you want to just totally buy that Purdy's the franchise quarterback,
see, I'm
go
not.
ahead.
I'm not.
Why aren't you?
Because I'm drunk on, I believe it's sustainable, Steiny. That's
okay,
all.
So then you
but I understand you saying I got to see more.
But you just told me not to say it. You just told me not to say, well, I have doubts about Brock Purdy being the future quarterback.
No, my doubt was you saying Kyle will wake up one day and be like, that's it. I need something new.
He has. That's his track record.
Right. But the person that he said that to had shortcomings that we all could see. And that was Jimmy Garoppolo.
Not right away. We didn't see him right away. I'm just saying.
Like Brock is off to such a great start. He's not Garoppolo. You know what I mean?
No, Garoppolo only started 5-0.
Well, I like that. But come on, man.
No, not come on, man.
That party I just pictured you saying, you guys ain't going to last 2 years. Even if you feel that way, you don't say it. Of course.
So what, I'm supposed to say, hey, Brock's the man. This one's going to last.
Now, I'm not telling you
Purdy's
to do
gonna
that.
I won't. I can't. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Dynamite.
Hey, I'm calling to say this, man. I've been listening all off season about the Niners and this quarterback and the coach and this and that. Hey, man, none of this stuff doesn't matter. The last time the Niners had a great team, you know what? They didn't get a ring.
Wow.
And so that's what he needs to do. That dude up in the Northwest, he's got a ring. That youngster down there in Southern California, he's got a ring. So this team is built to win a ring. So I don't want to hear about how good the coach is and how his system and this and that. Hey, man, win a ring. Because right now, that's all that matters, man. The Niners have had 2 great teams over the last 10, 20 years. And you know what? No rings.
Yeah.
While the other two, you got two coaches in this division who got rings. But everybody talking about Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in the division. Well, you know what? I don't see any jury, my man.
Wow.
So you better win a ring and stop talking praising and what he can do with the quarterback. And all that means nothing if you don't win a ring. There's a reason why Harbaugh is in Michigan and not in the NFL. He had a great team and no jury, man.
Wow.
Win a ring, then we can talk. That's all I got.
All right, John.
Look at John. And I'm going to go Daryl Willard.
I know that probably really hurts you.
No, I'm
because before he ever coached the game, you thought he was a genius.
No, stop.
You thought he was
I was going with what he did to Matt Ryan in RG3. That's what I was going off of. I'm going to steal from Willard. Kyle, technically, to the caller's point, ain't been singing his own praises.
Who?
Guys, Kyle, he ain't been calling himself a genius.
He doesn't have to.
Now, see, what do you mean by that?
You can just, like... He thinks, look,
he doesn't have to.
Kyle Shanahan's a big Kyle Shanahan fan. There's no doubt about that. Come on now.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with that yet because you're the biggest Steiny fan. Evan's the biggest Evan Giddings fan.
But I try to work on my weaknesses. I try to get better at my weaknesses. I feel like, look, Kyle Shanahan, until proven differently, is like, what am I saying that's wrong? He seems like a really hard guy to quarterback for.
We all have said that.
Okay. He really, I mean, Robert, he
made him Rookie of the Year calling plays for him. Forget his dad left him in the game to wreck his leg. But why did they draft Kirk Cousins in that same draft? I'll leave that there. Steiny, I hate that, and I know...
What do you hate? That you can't give him a Super Bowl without earning it?
I hate that you and I can have a conversation and you not check the box on him being a good motivator because he's not Michael Irvin. Yeah. I'm just telling you, the way that his team goes out on Sunday, since he's been here and plays, is a compliment to whatever they're using to motivate. I got to give Kyle some credit for that. That's just who I am.
650, you guys acting like we didn't have bad coaches. But look, nobody's saying Kyle Shanahan. See, here's what I can't stand. Nobody's saying Kyle Shanahan's not a good coach. He's a damn good coach. There's no doubt about it. But he's also got one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. So, unfortunately...
That hasn't won.
Unfortunately, because you fans are like this, Super Bowl or bust, you've decided to grade Kyle Shanahan on can he win a Super Bowl or not. That's what we're down to. If we're just down to he has to win a Super Bowl. Well, you know what? Then you can talk about Kyle Shanahan more critically than if he were just a coach of a regular team trying to get to the playoffs. You guys want Super Bowl or bust? Well, then Kyle Shanahan's got to become a Super Bowl coach. He's got to win a Super Bowl. I'm with you there. But I'm not the guy who thinks we're going to win a Super Bowl every single year.
And you haven't, but everything you just said, Steiny, I don't disagree with. But the compliment is what you're missing. The fact that you say Super Bowl or bust, Shanny's almost a made man. That's the only thing he's missing is a ring. He was 6 minutes away from it 4 years ago. He had his heart broken the last 2 years. So I'm just telling you, I know he has limitations. We all do. But I think so highly of Kyle that I'm putting that moniker on him, Steiny, and I don't think it's Super Bowl or bust, and I don't think it's unfair because he's that good, man.
All right,
and he's been that close. Like the caller just, I hate that you think,
then don't
and
talk
I told
about,
you this.
If it's Super Bowl or bust, quit talking about him like he's the best coach in the NFL. Or he's like some genius. Let's wait till he wins a Super Bowl. I think he's a really good coach.
Now,
I think he's a hell of a coach. Top 6 coach
Both
in the
of us?
league.
But we could talk about his play design.
It's great.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. Okay, how's his relationship with his quarterbacks been over his tenure?
Well, up until Jimmy, Steiny. Jimmy's like RG3, a jilted lover. I was listening to RG3 and it didn't come all the way out. But, I mean, I'm looking at the 53 players on this team. The guys
they better be a top 4 team. They have more talent than any other team in the NFC.
Hey, I got a bulletin for you, Scotty. Breaking news. They are.
Okay. Well, then
get it done.
Fine.
That's all.
Then don't treat him like he's coaching an expansion team. If you're going to say he's got to win a Super Bowl, then you can dissect his. Then these small shortcomings may matter. If you want to concentrate on him being a great coach, I'll do that. I'm not a Super Bowl or bust guy, but I understand the fans have expectations. By the way, the 49ers played nobody when Purdy played last year.
Stop it.
They played Tampa Bay, who stunk.
Okay.
They were absolutely terrible.
I'll give you that. Okay. Seattle in Seattle?
Washington, Vegas, Arizona. That's how the year ended up. Washington, Vegas, Arizona. They scored 30, scored 27. 30. That's great.
Washington was tied at half, too, here.
Okay.
It is the NFL. Steiny, you were with Mr. Irrelevant at your quarterback. It didn't matter if you were playing Chabot Gladiators. You were like, oh, my God, this thing could get off the hinges. It didn't.
It didn't because the 49ers have more talent than any other team in the league.
And that's why the caller a couple callers ago was just like, Steiny, you know what? We talk about this division, the NFC worst, like, you know, Caleb Williams sweepstakes. If the Rams and Arizona are going down that road, 2 coaches in this division with Kyle have hardware, as the caller pointed out. And you know who they are. It's just interesting that we forget that. Kyle's the one that had the chance. He ain't got it. And that's why I'm just turning up the heat on him.
So why do you talk about him like he's won a Super Bowl?
Oh, now that hurts. Because I don't, man.
You kind of do. I feel like Kyle, and this is not you. This has nothing to do with you.
No, but go ahead.
I feel like Kyle Shanahan is the most praised coach who's never won a Super Bowl that I've ever listened to.
Did you feel that way about, and I'm being so real, because this is Don Nelson. Before Don, in the midst of Don Nelson, didn't you understand what the hoopla was about?
I remember people talking about Don Nelson. One of the first things they said, because we taught, it was later in his career, was he's never won the big one.
Now, Kyle ain't there yet, but Steiny, it's getting there. And for some, he already is. That's all. So when I say Super Bowl or bust, that's me saying, nah, you got to take the difficult test, level 100. You're that good. Why haven't you won? He can say my quarterback overthrew. Why were you running? Why were you throwing when you should have been running? That's on you. He can't even pass that off on the coordinator. That's why I'm on him, his bumper, Steiny.
Are you on him, or do you want to ride him?
Both.
Are you riding him, or do you want to criticize him?
I'm real, Steiny. He's good, and he's got some warts. I don't know what you use on warts. But let's go get some cream. And hopefully he's licked himself in the Niners, right? They're a top 3 roster in the game.
Jimbo says, I wish Steiny was coaching. He'd win a Super Bowl every year. That's the point. I'm the opposite of that, Jimbo. I'm the total
but you're not a
opposite
guy.
of that.
Yeah.
It's hard to win the Super Bowl.
I understand that.
It's 6 months away, and some 49er fans are saying, no, if we don't win the Super Bowl, it's not going to be. It's like, let's wait and see it play it out. What if everybody's healthy and they don't win?
Well, then there's disappointment city and there's a conversation to be had.
Okay. Well, let's see how the year plays out. Let's see if Kyle Shanahan can stay in love with a quarterback.